Welcome to this week's episode of Your Stock Request for the 12th of January. Hi, I'm Michael Gable, Managing Director at Fairmont Equities. Your Stock Request is the weekly video where I take your requests and analyse the share price charts. So this week we have Xero, Linus, Drone Shield, Lindley and Gable. So if you have a request, please send it through. Make sure you've signed up to the free newsletter, but my stock tips actually come out every Tuesday in the Dynamic Investor Report, so make sure you're getting that report. But if you do enjoy these videos, we'd love you to share them on social media or even leave us a review. Our main business is in portfolio management, so if you'd like to have a broking account with me and have me advise you what you should be buying and selling, then please let me know. And the advice here is general only. So I've got a daily chart here of Xero. Ultimately, as we could see, it is still in a downtrend. If we have a look at recent price action, I'll just zoom in. I mean, it does look like it's starting to tighten up potentially. Maybe there's going to be a move soon. The only problem is when it comes off, those downside moves are still fairly impulsive. I'd prefer to see an impulsive move up and then a slower move down. So yeah, and especially yesterday we could see downwards move here and there was quite a bit of volume. So I think if you're looking for an upside break, or if you're looking to buy it, firstly you'd want to see an upside break from this triangular pattern, so a move up to here. I think ideally I'd like to see it above $80 to clear these peaks, and that's assuming that this is a low. Again, just bear in mind, overall it is still in a downtrend. Okay, Linus. We have looked at this one previously. As you can see, it tends to, it's been going down over the course of 2022, but very volatile, and it tends to turn around with these V-shaped. Most reversals have been fairly V-shaped, so you don't really get many setups with Linus, although we did get one in October, and I did have this in the Dynamic Investor Report here as a buy. So we could see here we got a nice sort of bounce off the low, retest, and then you got a bit of a move there, but again it's then come back. Another V-shaped rally here last week. If I just zoom in, what you'll notice is, although volume was high here on the way up, it was also quite high on this big sort of reversal here. And then even yesterday, it looked like it tried to get back to this level and only closed back where it opened. So look, I think this here looks a bit like these sorts of reversals here that we've had before. So I think for the moment, the risk is to the downside, just in the short term again. Okay, Drone Shield. So possibly this would have been your buy signal. As we could see, gap up, even though on this particular day it would have been up quite a lot by the looks of it. Percentage wise, we could see the massive volume going through, so potentially your buy signal there. It's had a run. Look, the daily ranges are very large, so to me this doesn't look like the easiest one to trade. Most recently we saw it get up towards about 29 cents, so near the old high. Naturally you'd expect some sort of resistance to come in. Fortunately the pullback after that level of resistance was quite sharp, so a bit too sharp for my liking. A lot of volume. I just think that it's very tricky to trade here. I mean, if you're sort of buying it here, you got resistance levels up here. Where are your stops? Do you place it under yesterday's low? To me, it just looks a bit tricky to trade. I'd rather see something that has smaller ranges, daily ranges, and ideally you'd want to see the volume come out of it again. Lindley, so this is another one that's basically downtrend, as we could see. Just zooming in short term, there was, I think we had a buy signal a couple of days ago, so you had this bounce off the lows and then this sideways flag, and then this move here, to me, sort of closing above these levels would have been the buy. Good volume, followed through yesterday, better volume. So it does look like short term it wants to head higher, but again we have to bear in mind it is still in a downtrend, so it'll probably get some resistance maybe around this gap or near this old high. So sort of, if it was me, if I was holding it and it was getting up to a bit above 850, I'd be seriously considering just taking that off the table and then seeing what the next move is. I highly doubt it's just going to keep trending higher from here. It'll probably stall here. Again, at best, then it does a breakout and a buying opportunity. But again, as I mentioned earlier, overall downtrend, so the risk is that it gets up here and gets back into that downtrend. Okay, Yan coal. Just looking what it's done over the last few months. I mean, obviously, if I zoom out over the course of the year, it's trended higher like most coal stocks. That would have been the buy signal there, because you've had this sort of nice sort of bounce off the low, and then as it came back to retest the low, it started to sort of curve lower here, and then that big move breakout would have been the buy, but it would have been hard going. I mean, that wasn't a great day. If you're still holding it, then obviously this day followed by that probably would have made you get out of the trade, but then I think this move would have been the next buy signal, so this one would have been a tricky one to trade. This move here in December, late December, this decline is a bit of a concern, because it has come back pretty sharply. You end up with a bit of a V-shaped bounce, but it's not back at that high, and we could see it stalling here. So I think that I think it will just continue to stall here. I mean, at best, it absorbs the selling, heads sideways for a while, and you'd be looking for another buying opportunity. Otherwise, to me, if that doesn't occur, I'd be looking for a dip, probably dip lower. At the moment, I just can't see it doing this sort of thing straight away. Okay, well, that's all for this week. If you have a request, send it through, and I'll try to cover your stock next Thursday for you.